Hi. I've never done this before, little disclaimer, but I would really like to get ready with you talking about the things that are really important to me, and well, I hope you like it. I kind of want to have this kind of authenticity where I can really just like be myself and in my like literally everyday today acts but where you like can get to know me but at the same time like understand a little bit more what I'm trying to do. So, um, I think I always loved fashion because I loved to be able to slip in different roles. I think kind of the same with makeup. You kind of get to decide how you would like to present yourself, how you would like to be perceived. I mean, as in communication, you can still only do 50%. The other 50% is still by the receiver. You still decide what you're going to do out of my message. But I think the only thing we can actually do is try our best to try to communicate what really is important for us. And I think once we do that, and I think once the people understand um that it's actually just like authentic and it's real and it's honest and purpose driven, that people understand you differently, and I think I don't even really need people to like me as a person or what I'm doing, what I'm looking like. But I think I kind of do need people to understand what I'm trying to do and that I'm really just like trying to come for like in a good place. Um Trying to do like positive having like a positive impact on the fashion industry. And it's just like that I really think the fashion industry has kind of shaped me because I've been always quite good at understanding the impact of clothing. I kind of know quite good how to use clothing to come get across a certain message. Um, but because I'm so good at it, and I think because the industry had taught me so much how to cover up and how to look a certain way to exactly like bring across a certain message, I would kind of like to break that circle because I think a lot of it is just fake, you know? And I think with a sense of authenticity and of just realness, I would like to change the industry a little bit because I just think at the end of the day, it's literally like with the pandemic right now, we all suffer so much and we're all kind of in this together experiencing how we are all vulnerable and we are all mortal in the end. So I would like to use that sense of community that we could build in a situation like that, like surviving something like this together, um, to really change the industry and really bring the attention to important matters, um, like the workers' rights in India who are responsible for 80% of the clothing we're wearing in Europe, for example. You know, so I just feel like this industry, like this pandemic, could really show us that we are all the same. We are all, our bodies are all built the same. We can all get sick. We're all vulnerable. Um, and I would really like to use that kind of understanding to point out how important it is to take care of other people. Because I know um, I might not even look at it or like it, or of course, every one of you could ask me, like, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to fight for more sizes in the industry? Why are you trying to make people nicer and more kind in the industry? Why are you doing this, you know, like why are you caring about the environmental damage of in Asian countries? And I think the answer is just because I do, because I'm privileged enough to even know about it. I'm privileged enough to care because I know that I have good working rights. I have my own jobs. I can pay my money, my rent. You know, like I'm so fortunate to live the life that I have. And I'm so fortunate to live in a country where everyone is safe and where you really have the possibilities to to get help if you need it. And I would like to fight for other people who are less fortunate, because I just think that it's a part of humanity to fight for the weaker, you know. And I'm a scout, and it's just like, as a scout we have that one thing, you know, like the bigger one protects the smaller one. And I just think it's like, it's so simple, like that's like the hand sign, but I just think it's so simple, but it's so meaningful and it's so beautiful. And it's just like I have like these like 10 rules how to live as a scout, where it's really like talking about um valuing the other person for what they're saying and what they're believing, and being open to other opinions, and always being inclusive, and always helping older or weaker or children, you know, like always helping the people who struggle more than you do. And I know you could even tell me like nobody wants your fucking help, like just mind your business, but the problem is I can't, and to some point I'm not even willing to. I'm not willing to just let this sit, because I just feel like if nobody talks about it, if nobody fights for them, if nobody even pays attention to their struggles and to their pain, then A, where's the humanity? And B, why, what's our purpose? What's our purpose here? Like, if I just can't believe that all I am meant to do on this planet is work a 9 to 5 job and pay my rent. That's too less. And I just think if I can use my voice, if it's heard or not, that's totally up to you what you decide. But if I can use my voice and tell you that there are so many people who are being not paid in the fashion industry, who are being physically abused, who are threatened at their workplace in the fashion industry. We don't even have to go to Asia. We can literally just go to Italy, and look at the leather production of Louis Vuitton and Celine and all the big brands you love, and I love too. But it's just like, I would like to talk about a different kind of luxury. I would like to advocate a different kind of luxury, where the luxury I want to achieve is the luxury of going to sleep every night knowing that my workers are getting treated fairly and equally and with the respect they deserve, because I know their worth. I know the art that they're doing. I have been sitting by a sewing machine for almost 3 years, and I hated every minute of it because I suck at it, and not just because of the nails. I just suck at it. So I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the work of those artisans. And that's just exactly what I would like to kind of bring back to the people, to really appreciate the value of human work and of human artisans and creativity. And I just feel like without them we're nothing. I mean, they're literally doing all this work for us, for our clothing. And even though most of the things I wear is vintage, I don't know. Like, I suck at it too. I don't know where everything that I wear comes from and how it's made and how it's produced and if it's sustainable. But because I don't know, and because I don't seem to find answers, I would like to create some, because I would like to create with my brand all the answers, you know? I would just really like to advocate that kind of way of being transparent with the customers. I would like to show you my production lines. I would like you to meet the workers. I would like to have for you to see interviews with my workers and really get to know them by name. So the question, who makes my clothes, is not a question anymore, because you have a picture, you have a face, you see. And that's just, I mean, we are so global. We're using excuse me, the digital age for everything, and we have digitalization for everything. So we can't act like the people don't matter anymore, or they're too far away for us to care, because at the end they're a phone call away, they're SMS away, and they're a FaceTime away. And that's what I think is so insane to me, that we're so connected and we're using each other's specialties to create the most amazing things, but we still can't seem to realize the value that every person has the same, every value of life has the same, you know, every person needs the same thing, every person is built the same, we're all skin and bones. It doesn't matter where we come from. I mean, that wasn't even our decision to make. I didn't choose where I was born, did you? I didn't choose the way I was looking, like my parents did, and their grandparents did. I have nothing to do with that. I can choose every day how I would like to present myself. Every day I can choose if I would like to be a badass girl, if I would be to be a classy lady or a bougie bitch. But that's my decision. But I didn't decide where I was born, or in what country, what language I speak, and neither did you. So how can we still make people bad for it or guilty for it? I don't get it. Same thing with the sizing. Like, why are we still so antique? I mean, we're not even antique. And the antique people understand that people with a little bit of flesh on their skin are actually super beautiful. The old Greek got it. Why don't we? Because we have designers who really would like to mince ourselves in those petite clothing and literally make us feel like shit because we can't fit in, and we're not even meant to fit in. I mean, these clothing pieces are not meant for real humans in everyday lives. They're meant for museums, and most of the time couture pieces end in museum because that's where they belong. They're not made for every day. And even pret-a-porter, I know that's made for every day, but why then not for everybody? Why not in 10 sizes, 20 sizes, 30 sizes? It's not like you can't afford it. And that's just what I think is kind of sad. You know, like the whole fashion industry still revolves about this idea that you have to look a certain way, or have certain sizing to fit in and to be part of this glamour world. And I just don't understand why we still have to kick people out of societies, you know, why we still have to form those groups and make people feel so bad because we're pushing them out. And that's kind of what I would like to change with my brand, you know? Like, I mean, I'm so small and I don't even know if I could do anything, but I know I can produce 10 sizes, you know, and that would be a start for making people see that I actually want to make clothing for them, and I want to give every person, literally, if I can, every person the opportunity to wear a tent, to wear the biggest fucking hoodie they've ever seen, just because they would like to eat 3 types of pizza. And I like pizza. I understand, you know? And that's just what I would really like to advocate. I would really like to be this kind of person where people know they feel safe and they're seen for their character and their personality, and how they treat others, how they treat themselves, and how they carry themselves, because that's in the end the only thing that really matters to me, you know? The only thing that really matters to me is how people treat each other and how people act. And if more people would like to act like me in a more sustainable way for the future, and to support sustainable production and to support fair workers and a transparency in the fashion world, I would be honored, you know, because I would really like to do something good. And the only thing I can really do is try to make it better myself and try to talk to you guys about it. But I do need your help to make this come true. And yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna continue doing my makeup now. Okay, you know what? I'm not done. I'm still not done with my makeup, so I'm not done talking to you. What I think is also like a misconception I think we still have about this not being globally connected. Just like for the nature part, I think it's so sad that people still have this idea that if we ruin the environment on the one side of the planet, it doesn't affect us on the other, because it's not right, you know? Like the oceans flow into each other, animals, countries, clouds, clouds, like they're all over the place, you know what I mean? And it's just, I just feel like it's really sad that we're we're allowing people to outsource and we're allowing people to do the work for us, but we don't seem to be able to take the responsibility for our actions, and that's kind of the thing that I would like also to present, because to be honest, I feel responsible. If I know that people are working for my name, for my brand, they're working for me because I am not able to produce that kind of clothing in that kind of quality in that kind of perfection myself, um then I should totally I should totally do I should totally do that. No, I mean, no, sorry. If people work for me, if people produce the clothing for me because I don't have the capacity, I don't have the talent, and to be quite fair, I'm not able to do it in that kind of quality and perfection like professionals can, then it's my responsibility that while working for me and while producing clothes for me, that they're happy, that they're safe, that they're okay, that they have their breaks, that they don't overwork, and that at the end of the day they can be proud because they can say I did this and I'm earning my money and I'm, and I'm doing something. And that's what I think is amazing. I like to give people the opportunity to work, like I think it's super important. I like working for my own money because I understand how much of an independency that gives to me. And I would like to give that independency to other people. But because of that, I am taking responsibility. They're doing this for me. How can we still act like they're not doing this for us? I mean, at the end of the day, we're wearing the goods. We are wearing the goods that they produced for us. How can we not care? And that's kind of what I think is so essential. And also what I mean is everything's connected. It's just like we can't act that just because they produce a lot of clothing in China, made out of polyester, and we know they have like a lot of CO2 emissions because of the polyester production. And I just I just feel like we can act like it won't affect us, because to be honest, like the plastic of the polyester will affect us immediately. The moment we receive the package and we wash it for the first time, a polyester piece, we have the microplastic in our washing machine, in our water system, right here at home. So how can we still act like it won't affect us? It does. You just sometimes don't know about it, and that's why I'm trying to tell you this, because I don't want to poison our waters here with the plastic we're bringing all the way from Asia. I don't need it. And I don't think you do, because at the end of the day, maybe you're probably the type of person who has this cute little bag. They always take to shopping just like me, and they're already using their refillable cup and they're already trying to reduce plastic waste. You don't need your plastic in your washing machine. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm saying I just feel like it's such a global thing. And also like the cotton production. I mean, I liked cotton. I liked the feeling of it. And to be honest, cotton was one of the fibers I wanted to kind of really use the same technicalities that cotton has, because cotton is amazing. Cotton really keeps you warm and really is sweat absorbing and breathable and everything. I like that. But why do we have to use so much cotton from India? I mean, 72% of our cotton is produced in India under very, very unsafe conditions, because the farmers don't know how to use it, how to plant it correctly, how to do it safe, because no one ever taught them. And that's also what I feel like is also kind of a responsibility. If we outsource the production of the materials from our clothing, then how is it not our responsibility to teach those people how to use it correctly? I mean, you can't just give people something and let them fail and let them get sick and don't care. Like, I don't get it. I mean, isn't like, where is the corporate social responsibility aspect in that thing? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the polyester production that brings us the plastic right directly home, and it's the cotton production that literally makes whole communities sick, that wastes so much water other people need. And I just don't think it's fair at all, to be honest. And And I think that's just like the sad thing about it. That there's so much damage done and so many people die and so many chemicals dumped into the water systems of like local communities, and we poison whole cities. We poison whole cities with our clothing because we can't seem to care where the chemicals go, because we can't pay a little more, or as an international corporation who actually hires those kind of slum fabrics, they don't care because they say it's not their responsibility, and I just don't think that's true, and I would really like to fight and kind of start a movement where people start to care and start to ask, and to be honest, I would be honored if you would support me and my brand, but to be honest, I would love it probably more if you would start acting sustainable and transparent and fair, and if you would actually demand the brands you love the most to be transparent and to tell you where they produce, under what conditions, who their subcontractors are, because I know those informations, like um they have a lot of subcontractors and they don't take care of them at all, and they just take the cheap production and they just take the finished goods, but they don't care at all about what happens in between and how those products are produced and under what conditions. And I just think that's what I'm saying, like that's the type of luxury that is more important for me, and maybe it's also important for you, because I like luxury. I love high fashion and items, and I love the beauty of designer pieces. But why isn't it possible to have this beauty made under fair conditions and under environmentally friendly conditions? Why is it not possible? Because I know the price tag is there, I know the money is there, but why is it not used for the really important things? And I think it's not used for the important things because it's not important to the customer. Because we have an industry being so competitive and being so irrelevant where I need it. Think about it for 1 second, please. I mean, clothing is there to clothe the naked body. Everything else is luxury. Everything on top is luxury. The possibility of wearing something new every day is luxury. So if we can afford this kind of luxury, then why can't we afford to ask that it's made under good conditions? Why can't we provide that kind of luxury also for people working in the supply chain, that they also can wear different clothes and that they can also live and survive good and healthy and under fair conditions and safely, without having to be afraid to be physical abused when you actually just ask for basic human rights, And I truly believe that it was just possible to treat people that way, and it was just possible to keep this whole thing going, because the fashion industry turned into an industry that stopped innovating and looking for new materials and new ways of production, and just started looking at how you can make the most profit. And at the end of the day, it was possible to do that because the end consumer just cared about the money and about the feeling of being richer when you can buy more, without realizing that at the end of the day, you get even poorer because you buy more. But I think if people would actually understand that with me and kind of stand with me to fight for more transparency and for more authenticity and not too much of a dream. I like fashion. I like the dream. I like the big fancy magazines, the billboard, the movies. I love it. Everything. Fashion shows, yes. But please under fair conditions. Please under safety measures, and please under the consequence that everything you take from the environment, you take back. You just give it back. you don't just take all the water and the nature resources and just dump it and just poison the environment, and instead of giving back the resources you take. And I just know that with my kind of production you can, because since we're only using one resource, and that's the tree, that's cellulose, we can actually replace every tree we take. You know, I can literally guarantee you that can replace the resources I take, and even do more, and do more reforesting projects, and do more woods than we actually take, you know, actually make the world a greener place, and not only giving back, but taking less and giving more is kind of the idea, you know. And we can only do that by consuming less and more awareness. And I would really like to advocate that kind of way of living, and living fashion and celebrating fashion. And if you're in, I would be honored. And what I also really think is super important, since I'm kind of trying to build this around 4 people, you know, like to fight for people who are working under bad conditions, and to kind of fight for the environment. I really wanted to create this community, and I really wanted to also fight for the end consumer, kind of fight for the people who buy fashion, because I think like the fashion industry even has been not too kind to the end consumer. You know, they have not been too kind to the people wanting to buy fashion, because with all those collections and all those designers only producing clothes for only like 2 types of people, how do you make people feel who need a 5XL? How do you make them feel? You make them feel like shit. You make them feel like they don't have a place in the fashion industry, like they don't deserve beautiful clothing, and like they don't have any value. And that's just what I think is like so terrible, and it's unfair, and it's unkind. And I want to fight for more kindness in the fashion industry. I want to fight for more inclusivity, where people really just like stick together and don't care about sizing no more, you know, like don't treat people dependent on how they're shaped, and how their body is formed, because I think it's like so irrelevant, to be honest. I know that might sound a little stupid, but to be honest, at the end of the day, I don't really care about looks. I like it, and I like to feel beautiful, and I would like to make people feel beautiful in my clothing, because just with the technical functionalities, you know, it's breathable, it's antibacterial, it's sweat absorbing, it's temperature regulation. It's really, you have everything in this fabric that makes you feel comfortable and supported and protected, and that's really the kind of feeling I would like to give to people. But that's really like what I'm trying to focus most on here, that this is also a product really for the people, and kind of like trying to create this super supporting and exclusive community, where people really come together because they believe in fighting for a greener future, and they believe that fashion should be fair and not only beautiful, and that fashion really can change the world when we do it right, and when we use our resources right, and when we just use it for a good cause, and when we use clothing to show other people that we appreciate their creativity. And that's kind of why I also have like those 10 colors with the 10 statements on the back, you know, because of course I could ask you to wear my name, you know, I could ask you to wear my name on your back as a sign of this kind of revolution for a social change and an environmental change. But to be honest, who am I? I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing this to make me feel good about myself. I'm doing this because I'm way too fucking righteous, and I hate something that's unfair, and I just can't help but wanting to do it right. And I'm a scout at heart, and I just fucking love the nature, because I grew up in a tent and with nature around me, and I am a person who believes that all people are the same, should be treated the same, and that it only really matters how a person acts, and it only really matters how a person treats other people and the environment. And I don't care about looks. I don't, because the most perfect looking human being could be an absolute asshole in the way of treating others, and that makes me an asshole. That makes me unattracted and make this person ugly in my eyes. And that's why I don't care about looks. And I just want to make people feel beautiful. I really want to make people feel super appreciated and good about themselves and good about their skins. And that's why I really wanted to also use a fabric that is so supporting to the human body. You know, it's sweat absorbing. You won't ever smell. You won't ever have like some kind of weird sweat spots. You won't have that with that fabric, because it's there to support you, it's there to make you feel comfortable, and it's also there to make you feel proud. You know, like I love the green hoodie that I have, and on the back is stitched sustainable, and I love that there's a hoodie where it's actually standing sustainable, and you can walk around, and I like to walk around with it, and I like to feel proud of it. I like to be so proud that I choose sustainable clothing. I choose to support sustainable clothing because I am an eco, I am a tree hugger. I do like the nature, and I do like to show it, and I'm proud of it. And I love to see my friends in my Orange Savage hoodie, and I just love the attitude they give off if they wear it, and the moment they put it on, they just feel themselves, and they're just like, it's me, and I'm here, and I'm in bright orange, and I'm shining, and I love it. I love it so much. And I just also, I love it when a boy of mine just wears like my hoodie selective, and he's just like, you know, I'm so proud that I'm selective, who I like it, who I let into my life, and who is worth of my time and my energy, because I take care of myself, because I love myself. And that's just like the vibes and the moods I want to come across with my 10 statements, you know, because every statement is a personality trait. I mean, also like seductive and red. It is not the short mini black dress, it is a red hoodie. And if you want to, it's a red hoodie in 5XL. And if you love it and if you feel confident in it, you will be the sexiest girl for me, or the sexiest boy. And that's also the thing. I don't have any genders, because again, the way where you're born, how you look, what gender you have, you didn't decide that. But you can decide every day how you treat other people's, how you treat the environment, and how you fight for others, or if you don't. And that's the only thing that's really important for me, and that's really what I want to come across with my brand and with my values. So I think I'm done. So I really wanted to thank you for sticking around, and I really hope to have come across a little bit more of what I'm trying to do. And yeah, thank you, and follow me for more.